minutes. Tonight on World News, outrageous. That's what the president's top economic advisor calls the news that AIG is doling out $165 million in bonuses after taking that gargantuan taxpayer bailout. How can these bonuses be justified? While the AIG folks rake it in, we take a look at the new homeless. Entire families living in cheap motels, 4, 5, 6 people to a room. Also tonight, allergic reaction, a breakthrough in eliminating deadly peanut allergies, how doctors retrained a child's immune system, and busting the bullies, how one school is eliminating an age-old problem, and even the bullies are happier.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is World News.
Good evening. At a time when the country is aflame with resentment and anger at Wall Street, here comes an incendiary piece of news from the American International Group, AIG, the company at the heart of the financial collapse. AIG is paying $165 million in bonuses to its executives by today, despite the fact that the company received $170 billion in a taxpayer-funded bailout. And AIG and the Obama administration say there is nothing they can do to stop it. We're going to start tonight with ABC's John Hendren, who is at the White House.
The Obama administration has a word for the AIG bonuses.
Outrageous. Outrageous.
Outrageous.
Outrageous.
Outrageous.
An angry Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner called AIG Chief Executive Edward Liddy Wednesday, demanding he slash the bombshell bonuses. Liddy's response? AIG's hands are tied. In a letter to Geithner yesterday, Liddy said he found the bonuses distasteful, but he said they were contractually promised before the collapse, and we must proceed with them. Despite his outrage, President Obama's top economic advisor agrees.
The government cannot just abrogate contracts.
Lawmakers are particularly furious that the bonuses are going to the very unit at AIG whose risky behavior nearly brought down the company and the U.S. economy.
The message here, I'm afraid, is let's enter into a bunch of contracts real quick, and we'll have the taxpayers pay bonuses to our employees. This is an outrage.
This is an example of people at the commanding heights of the economy misbehaving.
Liddy was recruited by the Bush administration to run AIG, and the bonuses were negotiated before he arrived. But Congressman Elijah Cummings cites the lavish corporate parties AIG has held since the bailout and the huge losses the company has had of late. He says Liddy should step down.
It's like, okay, you got to help me. Screw you. And by the way, I'm going to take your money and I'm going to slap you with it.
He has trouble swallowing AIG's claim that the bonuses are to retain executives.
Where are they going to go? I mean, think about it. Where are they going to go?
Liddy has only heard the beginning of the bonus backlash, Dan. He'll be on the hot seat this Wednesday at a congressional hearing explaining why taxpayers are footing the bill for millions more to executives who've already cost them billions. Dan?
John Hendren at the White House tonight. Thank you. For more on this story that has a lot of people very angry, we have with us tonight William Cohan, the author of the new book on the financial meltdown called House of Cards. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Dan.
Despite the professions of outrage we're hearing from government officials like Larry Summers and the professions of regret from the people at the top of AIG, you say you suspect that somewhere in the back of their minds, they're actually happy that these guys are getting the money and staying in their jobs.
Well, unfortunately, I think what they're not saying is that they need these people. They need the very people who got us into this mess to help us get us out of it, because I suspect that they know this is so complicated that without the people who helped create these securities that have now gotten us into so much trouble and help us unwind them, they won't be able to figure it out.
As we discussed before the show, they need the people who planted the bomb to defuse the bomb. Let me ask you another question about your book. Your book is about how we got into this mess in the first place, the collapse on Wall Street. You talk about the greed and hubris that got us to this point. Do you see anything today from what we're seeing from AIG that suggests that the greed and hubris still persists on Wall Street?
Well, I think we need to, come clean on all of what's happening here. You're beginning to see some sort of clarity, some little bits and pieces of information coming out, but still the executives who are behind all of this have not yet fessed up to what they did and why. And it's very clear. In my book, I lay out what exactly happened at Bear Stearns over any number of years that put them in such a precarious position. And I think the time has come for everyone to say what really happened here, instead of hiding behind the myths that have been created.
Very quickly, late tonight, AIG is releasing some information on how it spent the billions it got from the government. Good sign or bad sign?
Well, what it shows is there's more bailout money going to firms like Goldman Sachs and Merrill Lynch than people originally thought.
William Cohan, thank you very much.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it. Tomorrow, we are going to get a better idea if the recent rally on Wall Street was a real turnaround or just a blip. The Dow was up nearly 600 points last week, 9%. So what might move markets this week? The AIG bonus uproar. Will it make it tougher for the government to pass future bailouts, which many economists say we may need? How will markets respond to the refusal by European nations this weekend to increase spending on their own economies? President Obama announces a new plan to help small businesses tomorrow, and the Federal Reserve meets Tuesday, Wednesday. Both could have an effect on the market. And finally, several key companies will report earnings this week, including FedEx, considered a key barometer because when businesses are busy, they ship more stuff. Bottom line, last week's rally was encouraging, but most experts say until the economy really turns around and the banks deal with their toxic assets, we are not likely to see a rally that really lasts. And we turn now overseas to Pakistan, where today there was talk of revolution. But tonight, the government appears to be caving in to demands from protesters, agreeing tonight to reinstate the Supreme Court Chief Justice, whose ouster had enraged the opposition. Tonight's announcement follows a day of unrest and chaos that included violent clashes, raising fears about the stability of this nuclear-armed nation. At one point, the police let the violence escalate and spread. All of this has potentially serious implications for American national security. So let's go now to our senior foreign affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz. Martha, what are your sources in the American government telling you about how worried they are about this situation?
Well, they were certainly worried, and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton had been in touch with President Zardari in Pakistan. This has now been diffused, they believe. This was an enormous rally, Dan, and it was supposed to be bigger tomorrow. The opposition leader had actually been put under house arrest. He escaped. He had been in a convoy. He was headed for Islamabad. So I think it's exactly as you said. The government has caved in. They did not want this massive opposition. The U.S. did not want this. The U.S. wants the Pakistani government to concentrate on going after terrorists.
And now, as we said, the government appears to have caved in by agreeing to reinstate the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Do we think that will be enough for these protesters?
Well, so far, I think it will be, Dan. I mean, I think what you might see tomorrow is a party, but they will have more power now. They will definitely have more power, but I think you will see, again, the U.S. pushing back and trying to tamp this down.
Continuing instability in a country on the front lines in the war on terror. Martha Raddatz, thank you very much. It was 6 years ago this week that the U.S. and its allies invaded Iraq. And all this week, ABC News will be taking a look at what life is like in Iraq right now in our series, Iraq, Where Things Stand. ABC's Terry McCarthy has been traveling all over the country, and this time he found something new: optimism.
Markets without bombs. Hummers without guns. Ice cream after dark. Busy streets without fear. 6 years after the war started, more Iraqis now say the economy, rather than security, is the biggest concern in their lives. 32% against 20%. 60% expect things to get better next year, almost 3 times as many as a year and a half ago. Iraqis are slowly discovering they have a future. We flew south to Basra, where 94% say their lives are going well. Oil is plentiful here. So is money, which they like to spend on expensive imports.
You have many people buying cell phones for $600?
Yes, okay. At the port, shipping has increased 3-fold since last year. But we didn't realize quite how quickly Iraq was returning to normal until we visited the new, modern Al Musawi hospital.
How much you pay for that machine?
$80,000 US.
80,000.
What surprised us most was that 8% of their patients come from overseas. But as Iraq rejoins the world, it is not immune to the global recession.
Iraq's economy is almost entirely dependent on oil. So with oil prices down this year, they have less money to spend on everything else.
The private sector may be booming, but state-owned factories like this petrochemical plant cannot get the spare parts they need. It was idle the day we visited.
very important for us, the technology, the assistance in the technology side.
Much of the country is still stuck in the past. But now violence has gone down. Iraqis have a chance to start building a future that, until recently, they couldn't even imagine. Terry McCarthy, ABC News, Basra.
And there will be more of Terry's reporting on where things stand in Iraq all week here on ABC News. The war in Afghanistan has not been going as well for the U.S. Today, 4 American troops were killed in a roadside bombing in eastern Afghanistan, one of the deadliest attacks against foreign troops in weeks. And back in this country, NASA says that repairs have been made, the weather's looking good, and the Space Shuttle Discovery is on track for an evening liftoff. NASA says there is no sign of the fuel leak that forced the launch to be postponed last week. And the latest newspaper on the brink, the San Francisco Chronicle, is still publishing tonight after workers agreed to massive concessions. Union members voted to work longer days, cut vacation time, and allow layoffs without regard to seniority. The Newspaper Guild is bracing for the elimination of 150 jobs. And coming up here on World News this Sunday, saving children from deadly peanut allergies with a daily dose of peanuts. Middle-class families checking into cramped motel rooms after every other option is gone. And the radical new way to protect kids from bullying by helping the bullies first.
This is World News, brought to you by the people of America's oil and natural gas industry.
Rebuilding America's economy will take energy from all sources. And here's some good news. Increased production of domestic oil and natural gas will also create well-paying jobs, drive our 21st century economy, and generate more than $1 trillion for federal, state, and local budgets. Money for better schools, public safety, and community needs. Maybe that's why most people support putting more of America's oil and natural gas to work. For Americans. Log on to learn more.
I'm gonna do another one of my sleep studies. Advil PM or Tylenol PM. With Advil PM, she's spending less time lying awake with aches and pains and more time asleep. You should switch to Advil PM, the better night's sleep.
My muscles are strong. My heart and digestion are healthy. My coat's so shiny, I can see myself. When I play, it's a power play.
How does your dog food stack up to IAMS Proactive Health? With ingredients to promote 7 signs of healthy vitality, no other dog food stacks up like IAMS.
I am more than just a dog. I'm an IAMS dog.
IAMS Proactive Health. Take the IAMS Nutrition Check now at IAMS.com.
I thought I knew all about my high cholesterol.
But then my doctor told me something I didn't know.
While I was building my life, plaque was building in my arteries. It had been building up most of my life.
That's why my doctor prescribed Crestor, to help slow the buildup of plaque.
People like you are learning that plaque can build up in arteries over time, and that along with diet, Crestor lowers bad cholesterol, raises good, and is approved to slow the buildup of plaque in arteries. Is Crestor right for you? Crestor isn't for everyone, like people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests will check for liver problems. You should tell your doctor about other medicines you're taking, or if you have muscle pain or weakness, that could be a sign of serious side effects. Like others, while you've been building your life, plaque may have been building in your arteries. Find out more at Crestor.com. Then ask your doctor if it's time for Crestor.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Impressive resume. I see you're flatulent in 3 languages, graduated top of your gas.
Got gas on your mind?
Your son Rip is on line toot.
Try Gas X. Powerful relief from pressure and bloating in a fast-dissolving strip. Gas X. Pressure's off.
Today, scientists announced a big breakthrough in a potentially life-threatening food allergy. 3.3 million Americans are allergic to nuts. For some children, even peanut dust can be fatal, and that has led to widespread peanut bans. But as ABC's Stephanie Sy reports, that may be the worst way to protect kids.
8-year-old Daniel Klaus is so allergic to peanuts, even a tiny bit can create a life-threatening reaction.
My son asked his 5-year-old friend, does this have peanuts in it? And his friend said no, and it certainly did, and we ended up in the emergency room.
Now, promising results from a new study suggest that some children can conquer their peanut allergy.
Children that have been in the study for longer than 2.5 years, that half of them
are able now to have peanuts in their diet. They're eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, they're eating peanut-containing candy and not having allergic reactions. And we really anticipate that it'll be that way for the rest of their life.
The premise is simple. Fight fire with fire.
1, 2.
In the study, 33 children with severe peanut allergies were actually given peanuts in incremental doses, starting from just 1/1000th of a peanut.
Put your arms up for me.
After 3 years, 10-year-old Alyssa Miller, a study participant, had built up a tolerance.
I take 6 peanuts, and it's very cool because I never thought I'd ever be able to even eat one.
Some say studies like this prove that complete nut bans in places like schools and on airplanes can actually prevent children from building their tolerance.
So what we do with nut bans is actually we make the problem worse. We increase anxiety. We decrease exposure to nuts, which might increase the actual epidemic that we're trying to fight.
Okay, let's count them again.
Doctors hope this study will lead to cures for peanut and possibly other food allergies, but they stress parents should not try the treatment at home. Stephanie Tsai, ABC News, New York.
And coming up, the new last resort for some middle-class families caught up in the recession.
All around the world, men with erectile dysfunction have taken 36-hour Cialis. Today, men can also be ready with another dosing option, Cialis for daily use, a clinically proven low-dose tablet you take every day. So you can be ready anytime the moment is right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Ask your doctor if a Cialis option is right for you. So when the moment is right, you can be ready.
I'm Bruce Johnson, and I'm an inventor. I was always congested at night, and that meant a bad night of sleep. I tried everything from padded paper clips to straws. Finally, one night I was laying in bed, and I thought, outside of the nose, not inside.
Inside Breathe Right nasal strips are 2 plastic bands that lift open nasal passages so you breathe better and sleep better.
My nasal passages stay open, and I can breathe really quite relaxed.
If you have a cold, allergies, deviated septum, or snore, try Breathe Right and you'll notice a difference.
It's Lobster Fest. And this year, we've created more irresistible ways to love lobster than ever. With decadent entrees like our Lobster Lover's Dream with tender Maine and rock lobster tails. Or succulent wood-grilled lobster and shrimp, flame-seared to seal in the juices. And 11 other irresistible lobster creations, each served with a fresh salad and warm Cheddar Bay biscuits. It's Lobster Fest, right now at Red Lobster.
I'm the auto policy you think you have. Maximum benefits and strong coverage. Here's the problem. I'm not your auto policy. That's your policy. Flex those guns, my man. You're in trouble.
It's time to switch your auto policy to 21st Century Insurance. We cross-check 21 unique personal factors so we can help tailor a policy that's right for you, and only you. Don't be fooled by your auto policy. Join the millions who switched. 21st Century Insurance. Just right, just for you.
Tonight, we are going to take a closer look at the new face of homelessness in this country. More and more middle-class families are losing their homes and can't afford to rent. So many of them are moving into low-cost motels, which have become crowded and sometimes violent communities. ABC's Brian Rooney reports tonight from Orange County, California.
It's old motels like these that have seen better days, like the people living in them.
Yum, yum.
This is home now for Johnny and Tammy Garza.
Yum, yum.
One small room with 2 beds filled with clothes, toys, and 4 children.
This must be pretty tough.
And crowded. Yeah. And it's hard. It's actually hard, you know, with this many people in a small room like this.
What do you have to cook with?
We have 2 burners over there, and we have a little toaster oven to cook with, and we have all the pots and pans.
As the nation's financial crisis deepens, a new class of people all over the country has checked into the home of last resort, a low-cost motel. It's particularly noticeable in Orange County, California, where rents are high and there are plenty of old motels. When school lets out, the children start trickling back in through the courtyards.
We're seeing more families, we're seeing more intact families that are suffering from the economy.
And the motels can be dangerous. Friday in Anaheim, police shot and wounded a man while trying to arrest him on drug charges.
You never know when you're going to have gangs come in. You never know when there's going to be a pedophile.
Jonathan Emerson and his girlfriend were moved from a motel to a subsidized apartment. But there's little of that kind of help, so most go to motels. Aid agencies say it's not ideal, but better than living in the family car.
Make no mistake about it, we're still in a motel. It's a transient population, in and out. It's not the most optimal place for a family to be for any length of time.
The Garzas hope to move to an apartment within a few months.
Last month I was blessed with a job in the hospital. Are you eating those M&Ms?
If they leave, they will be immediately replaced. There's a list of homeless families waiting to move in to a motel. Brian Rooney, ABC News, Anaheim, California.
And when we come back, naming names, getting kids to point out the bullies, but not to punish them.
For many with arthritis pain, not treating is not an option. All prescription NSAID pain relievers like Celebrex, ibuprofen, and naproxen help treat arthritis pain and have some of the same warnings. But since individual results may vary, having options is important. Prescription Celebrex has been the option for millions of patients for 10 straight years. Just one 200 milligram Celebrex can provide dependable 24-hour relief for many with arthritis pain, stiffness, and inflammation. Based on the available data, the FDA stated that for certain patients, Celebrex's benefits outweigh the risks. If you're worried about stomach upset, you should know. In clinical studies, a lower percentage of patients taking Celebrex reported stomach discomfort versus prescription ibuprofen and naproxen. And if you are taking low-dose aspirin for your heart and need an NSAID pain reliever, Celebrex can be used because it doesn't interfere with the effects of low-dose aspirin. But when it comes to relieving your arthritis pain, you and your doctor need to balance the benefits with the risks. The FDA requires all prescription NSAIDs, including Celebrex, ibuprofen, naproxen, and meloxicam, to have the same cardiovascular warning. They all may increase the chance of heart attack or stroke, which can lead to death. This chance increases if you have heart disease or risk factors for it, such as high blood pressure or when NSAIDs are taken for long periods. All prescription NSAIDs, including Celebrex, also increase the chance of serious skin reactions or stomach and intestine problems, such as bleeding and ulcers, which can occur without warning and may cause death. Patients also taking aspirin and the elderly are at increased risk for stomach bleeding and ulcers. Do not take Celebrex if you're allergic to aspirin or sulfonamides. Ask your doctor if you could benefit from Celebrex. Understand the risks, feel the benefits.
Finally from us tonight, for as long as there have been schools, there have been school bullies. It's a real problem. Bullying can interrupt a student's ability to learn and a school's ability to educate. Tonight, a radical new approach to this problem, helping the bullies. Neil Karlinski is on that story.
White Pine is a tiny middle school grappling with a huge bullying problem, a problem that plagues schools across the country and which can be devastating. 14-year-old Allie Bybee was teased and physically abused to the point she couldn't take it anymore.
It was pretty hard. Just a bunch of being scared and not even wanting to leave my house every morning.
It got so bad that Bybee and other students fled to another school 40 miles away.
The problem is huge. The Centers for Disease Control estimates that every day 160,000 kids stay home from school nationwide because they're afraid of being bullied.
In some cases, kids have even made their own videos, posted online as a cry for help because they felt no one was listening. White Pine's new principal, Aaron Hansen, was fed up. He came up with an innovative plan. The first step was virtually unheard of, this confidential bully survey, where every student was asked to write down the names of the school's bullies. Over and over again, the same 8 names popped up. 13-year-old Jonathan Simmons was one of them.
Last year I threw a kid into the wall. It didn't turn out too pretty.
Hansen didn't out the bullies. He used the surveys to identify the problem kids and then meet with each of them individually. He worked on solving their problems, often trouble at home, and he got them involved with extracurricular activities as a reward for good behavior. At lunch, teachers now assign seating to make sure no one is left out. And instead of a school bell, songs play over the PA to send kids off to class in a lighthearted mood. Students and staff alike say the school has been transformed.
Raise your hand if you think there is now less bullying in the school than there used to be.
Oh, yeah. No, there is.
Really?
This year, Allie Bybee is back, and she's not scared anymore.
Now that they're taking care of it, I feel so much happier.
Even the bullies are happier, and part of a school where getting along is the most important lesson. Neil Karlinski, ABC News, Ely, Nevada.
And that does it for World News on this Sunday. Tomorrow on Good Morning America, an exclusive interview with Levi Johnston, the former fiancé of Bristol Palin, daughter of Governor Sarah Palin. Also, this reminder, if you go to abcnews.com, you can sign up to follow me and other ABC News reporters on Twitter. For all of us here at ABC News, thank you for watching, and good night.